Who
Yes,
we
we
got with
do.
us, my friend?
Ladies and gentlemen, we're just so thankful on this great Friday to have two wonderful people. One is my brother from another mother, and this other young buck is taking the country by storm. And we want you to know today is a special day. We have the one and only Jason Clayborn and Melvin Crispell the third. Welcome to the Wake Up Morning Show.
Thank you so much. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, thank y'all for having us. Y'all are hilarious. When I tell
Yes.
Yeah,
you,
he trying to show out
look,
today. I thought he prayed
hey,
up
look,
last night.
it was funny because y'all had the commercials rolling and we and Melvin was just talking about us. And when you muted us, I said, oh, excuse me.
Yeah. Well, first of all, we want Melvin to get a little bit more on the screen so they can see more of him because they only see Melvin, you too far
There's not
back.
much more of me to see. I promise you that.
Okay, but
Well, praise it.
there
There
you
you
go,
go.
there
There
you
you
go.
go.
Okay,
Okay.
now let me deal with you first, Melvin.
Uh-huh.
Uh-oh.
First of all, my government name is Leonard James Thompson III. So we had already connected with the three.
With
You
the
know what I'm
third,
saying?
the Father,
Okay.
Son, and the
You
Holy
There we
know,
go.
Ghost.
but the very very first time years ago I heard you sing,
Oh Lord.
you made me cuss, and
Not the saint of
I
God.
had to pray and ask God to deliver me
Mm-mm, it's
because
in you.
I said
It's in
boy
you.
I said
Mm-mm,
who in the
mm-mm,
this
mm-mm.
boy could just really this flat foot sing.
But he ain't delivering what's in you.
So I just
Thank
want you to
you.
know that I had to repent in my excitement about your voice. So I just
Lord
see.
Jesus.
So that's my beef with you.
I'm
I
so
need you to
sorry.
stop singing like you sing it that way, because you gonna make folks, have to come. And so I
And
just want to
cuss
let you
like
know.
you?
But
Oh,
I
okay.
repented, and it ain't happened since.
Repenting mean the term.
Yeah,
So
it
that
had.
means no more cursing.
Yeah, it hadn't happened
Get
since.
delivered from something
But I just
else.
want him to know that
Okay.
first time I heard him sing, that's what happened.
Okay. That's fair.
You know.
I'm so sorry.
Okay. And then Jason,
Oh God.
rumor is that you just said this year and moving forward, you just gonna come with hit after hit after hit, and
Yeah,
that there ain't no stopping you now.
yeah, we're not playing. We're not playing. And I had to kick it off with my little bro, who's family to me. Real talk.
For
I knew
sure.
his dad. I knew his mom. You know what I mean? And I've watched him grow up, man. And I'm just grateful, man. I was trying to figure out the last kind of pieces of the puzzle of this new solo record because y'all know normally I'm a choir guy.
Yes.
I write choir hits
Yeah.
and got a choir and all of that. But the label wanted me to do a solo record. And I was like, well, y'all do remember I started off with a Christian hip hop group called the
Yeah,
Righteous Riders
Yep.
back in the day. So when I got back into this bag, I said, if y'all want me to get in this bag, I'm gonna go all the way. And what better person, anointed man of God, my little bro, Melvin Crispell the third came on this song, whatever it is, and just blazed it from top to bottom.
He
Thank
he
you,
is
man.
he is a flat foot singer, and he's the lineage of the institutional Church of God in Christ radio choir.
yeah.
Come on, what you know about it?
Butch Haywood, my
Wow.
buddy, and his dad Melvin Crispell II. Him and I used to talk all the time because he was going to
Wow.
send some music for Eddie Baltrop and Fulfillment, who you came to the
Hmm.
Prestige Awards for a couple of years ago in San Diego. So the circle is
Wow.
full.
It
Wow.
is. It's
Wow. Wow.
crazy.
Wow.
It's
So
crazy.
I'm gonna go in first with Melvin, and Melvin, everywhere I see you at, you still is everybody's little brother. And so I would ask that in all the things that you are learning and all the things that you have been through and seen, who are you mentoring now? Because I know that you have some little brothers or sisters.
I wouldn't say that I'm necessarily mentoring. Like, I still got a lot to learn myself. I know I'm growing up, but I still got a lot to learn. But I do see certain ones, certain people that are coming up in the industry, trying to make their start in the industry, and I do my best to. When they come to me, I don't necessarily just go and but when they come to me, I try to give them what I already know, what I've already seen and experienced, and try to just you know get them to either not make the same mistakes that I made, or just to kind of outline certain choices that might benefit them. I don't like to see people taken advantage of.
Hmm.
um It's happened to me before, and I don't, I try to tell people to look for certain signs
Mhm.
when it comes to that, and always keep Jesus first. That is the most important. You'll ask anybody who I give advice to, that is going to be in my language, is to keep Jesus at the center, the forefront of what you do. And if you do that, he will lead you to places that you never thought were possible. So yeah.
So I like that, and now I'm gonna go over to brother Jason
Yeah.
Clayborn and say, Jason, people when the pandemic hit, everybody started wearing beards, and and brother, I tried. I tried. I
You
made a
tried
joke.
over and over.
I made a joke, brother, and I said, "Look, I'm gonna go get me a lace front beard so I could just be
Huh?
in the crowd." And it was literally a joke, Jason. But then all of a
Yeah.
sudden, we start seeing them come out with these lace front beards. My question to you is, um, how many times have you gone
Jesus.
out and they had beard envy because they see your full beard and
In his
they
fullness of glory.
and they just got beard envy?
Well, I'm gonna tell you, it took me a minute to get here, and like I said, I had a head full of hair a long time ago, so I guess the Lord just took it and pulled it the other way.
That's all
You
right.
know what I mean?
Enlarge
you
his
know,
territory.
yeah, I'm glad, and I want to piggyback off of what Melvin said because I feel like I've been the middle child in the industry.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Because I grew up with the Hezes and the Rickies and the Donalds. My mom grew up with them in the Dorsey convention.
Mhm.
So they've known me since I was born.
Wow.
So once they found out I could write and sing and everything, they kind of protected me. But then the new regime of everybody that was coming in, I really wasn't, I'm a loner guy, and so, I see Melvin moving and how he's moving. And I really wasn't, I'm not a clique type of person.
Hmm.
So I wasn't a part of anybody's clique. So
Hmm.
I became that middle child in the industry where I had to find my own way. And there are those that have wiggled their way through and not had to make it, connect with nobody to get somewhere like
Hmm.
the Ty Tribbett's
Hmm.
and there's certain ones that
Hmm.
have made it through without having to connect to your Kirk Franklins and
Right.
all of that. So
Right.
I've been that guy in the middle, writing songs and then people all of a sudden, I'm like, you could sing. I was like, well, I was singing before I was writing. So,
Hmm.
it's just been really cool to watch people catch up to the journey that the Lord has had me on, for this last 15, 20 years, man. It's been awesome. And I concur to what Melvin has said. The Lord will blow your mind if you let him. Everybody's path is different. Everybody's path and the way that God takes them. You got to enjoy the journey that the Lord has you on. Like, I mean, I shook the Pope's hand. My mom shook the Pope's hand last December. I took Tasha Page Lockhart with me to Italy for a month,
Hmm.
and the Pope passed. And but in that moment, in that time, in that experience, we were singing gospel music for 30 days in 27 different cities, and people
Wow.
were packing out venues all over Italy and Budapest and all of those areas to hear the music that you know some of us sometimes don't appreciate the
Hmm.
fact of how big from the Thomas Dorseys and the James
Hmm.
Clevelands and those that the fathers of gospel music. And then let's go on to the new regime of those that picked up the Walter Hawkins and and the Shirley Caesars and all of them,
Hmm.
this is a lineage of pressing through time. And people love the music, but they don't really understand the call behind what we do. So I'm grateful. And my prayer has always been, Lord, if it's not meant for me to connect, don't let it happen.
Come on.
And so when the Lord does these relationships, and I've watched Melvin grow into the man of God, and his future is just super bright. And
Super.
I've watched that. And
Thank you.
so the Lord has allowed us to connect on this song, and it's fun. Now we had fun shooting the video. The video
We
will be
did.
out, what I'm saying, in a couple of weeks with the song. And so um, basically the song is just whatever you're going through, God
Okay,
can handle whatever.
hold on, brother Jason. I want to let you know
Yeah.
that we ain't gonna rush this interview because I know some people give you 5 minutes. You got to get it all in. We got
Mm-mm.
stuff to
Yeah.
talk about, brother.
Oh, woo,
Yeah,
okay,
we
okay.
got some time now
Right.
because
Okay,
I want
okay,
to get the
good, good,
fullness.
good.
And the reason why I want to stop you there because, you mentioned the Kirks and the Ties and all these different people, and We know you because we're in the industry and you've done so much great work. But like, not everybody knows who Jason is. But but when you look at the fabric of gospel music, um, you're all woven in between it. What message could you give for those that are all looking for the awards and everybody calling their name, but you just said I took Tasha to overseas for a month, and people are like, what? He was overseas? Can you talk about the journey? Because I tell people it's not about the Stella or the Grammy. It's about the journey that God has you on and the impact that you do in the industry.
And
Can you
your
talk
bank
about that?
account. And your bank account, because you can have a Grammy and be broke.
Sure can. Um, that's facts. And I'm glad, honestly, by the way that the Lord brought me in, because He let me learn the business
Yeah.
of songwriting and production and the publishing splits and all of that, for it to create a whole nother stream of income.
Now, brother, hold on. When you touched your ear, you changed the quality of your music or your voice.
Can you hear me now? Is
There
that
we
better?
There
go.
we go.
That's better.
All right. What- I'm glad that the Lord brought me in the way He did, because it got me really connected to learning the business aspect of what we do. Like Robert said, there's a lot of incredible people that are gifted but are broke because they didn't understand the numbers and the fine print. Or in clause A says something that in clause B you got to go back and make sure that the jargon that is in clause A is the same way in clause B and clause C. Because they'll get you. And so, but if you're focusing on awards, then your motive, or you focusing on a platform, your motive is totally wrong. I'm going to tell you straight up. You got to focus on the fact that you're blessing people and the Lord is giving you this privilege
Yes.
to serve Him, to sing His praises, and also for it to create a stream of income for you.
Come
This
on.
is His business. This is His industry. This is His ministry. We are a part of His kingdom. This
Yes.
is not our kingdom. And you'll start, when people start getting self glorification, then you'll start seeing the decline um, in their ministry, because God will humble you
Yes,
and
sir.
bring you back down. And I've always been that guy where people have been like, how's he getting the opportunity to do that? And I ain't even got the opportunity to do that yet. And I'm like, because the Lord trusts me. And
Yep.
there's so many other stages, and there's not a shortage of sinners.
No.
So any way that the Lord can use you, I've been connected to Ron Canoli for the last 15 years. Half of the black people in the gospel world don't even know who Dr. Ron Canoli
A
is.
legend.
Yeah.
A legend.
They don't even know. There would be no Israel Houghton if it wasn't for Dr. Ron
No,
Canoli.
sir.
So the Lord has allowed me to connect to those that have made CCM music would not even be it. The white people did not start that.
Come on.
Let's talk about it. It was Jesse Dixon and Ron Canoli and Alvin Slaughter,
Lionel Harris.
Lionel Harris, who lived next to my grandmother still to this day in Louisville, Kentucky. Larnell Harris still lives here. He was knocking golf balls in the back of my great grandmother's yard, and I was cutting the grass and walked up to his house and rung the doorbell and said, "Mister, can you please stop knocking golf balls in the back of the yard? You're messing up my lawnmower," not knowing I was talking to Larnell Harris.
Yeah.
A legend. Jesus.
The Lord was showing me that how close you are to greatness.
Jesus.
You know what I mean? And all these awards and things on the wall that the Lord has allowed me, that they mean a hill of beans. You know what I mean? The mission is, how many people, how many lives have you touched? How many people have you blessed? How many lives came to Christ from what you're doing? And that's the biggest reward outside of the money. The Lord will add the increase to you. He's a rewarder of them that diligently seek
Come on.
Him. So He's going to add the increase as you seek Him. The windows will open, pour out, and the Lord, people around you will be like, how? Why is he getting that? The Lord is blessing Melvin because he's available to the Lord.
A vessel. Yes.
He's a vessel. The Lord is blessing me, and my walk and my way don't look like Melvin's way.
Hmm.
Right.
But what you do is you get together and you celebrate and you lift each other up. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I love what the Lord is doing in Melvin's life. And does it look like what he's doing in Jason's?
Mm-mm.
No. But the Lord connected us because it's kingdom work. And when you connect with kingdom minded people, you know what I mean? There's a lot of people that have the form of God.
But
You know what I mean? There's a form of godliness, but they deny the power because they want the power. You know what I mean? So people don't realize that God is taking his hand off of them because they're famous. And they're famous, but the oil is left.
and what's important too at this stage in gospel music, because when we started gospel music years ago, it was for ministry. They would travel
Yeah.
in cars, in vans and stuff. We've gotten so commercial, and we've allowed the industry, the higher beings, to make us focus on charts and selling records, that we've lost the ministry thing. Those that you are watching, if you watch the gospel music now, God is turning things around. You're seeing the unknowns, those that were faithful, those that serve under a pastor and a church. You're seeing them soar, and people are like, where they come from?
Yeah.
God is doing it because, like you said, it's ministry. And when you take God out the equation, you might as well sing secular music or be in another entity, because gospel is about Him being lifted.
See, Melvin has served at his church, and he still serves, and he still works, and he's still there.
You do
I've been in my
too.
church 20 years. I haven't jumped churches, and they changed my title 1,000 times. But the Lord ain't never told me to move because that's where his blessing is
Come on now.
for me.
Yep.
And
Yep.
people don't know how to sit still and listen.
Jesus.
You know, they get excited because they're gifted and they miss out on a season of. I don't want to get to heaven and all my blessings are stored up in a barn.
Come on.
And the Lord was like, I would have gave you this, but you didn't listen. Or I would have gave you this, but you thought you was big and bad because you
Jesus.
won a Grammy or you got won a Dove Award, and you missed out on this whole season of blessings because you wasn't focused on me. You were focused on the fact that everybody was calling your name.
Yeah. So let me ask you this, because I'm
Wow,
going
that's
back
powerful.
to Melvin. Melvin,
Yeah.
I'm a little nosy at times, and I try to be a little bit observant. It appears that you're in a hotel room. What city are you in?
I am in South Bend, Indiana.
All right, all right. So
Yes.
what are you? Are there in ministry? Are you ministered last night?
Yes, actually, I ministered last night, and I am ministering tonight as well. Pastor YPJ, his conference is this weekend,
Hmm.
and so I ministered last night, and Pastor Jason Nelson is ministering this evening, and they've asked me to sing the song that we put out together,
Come on.
Yahweh. So I'm here for that, and I'm going on home in the morning.
So
That,
so let me ask you this question.
mhm.
This is real talk.
Yes.
Um, you have been on the scene for quite a long time,
Mhm.
but then all of a sudden this explosion happened, and everybody was calling your name. How is your journey now, and how have you been able to navigate this additional visibility, but still, every time I see you hit the stage, it's still the same Melvin?
Um, a few different things. It's really a big piggyback off of what Jason was talking about, along with how I was raised. My parents, my parents drilled into me a foundation of humility, of serving God. Like Jason said, a lot of people just lose sight of who gave them these gifts and who they're supposed to use it for.
Mhm.
They get so caught up in the lights, the money, the awards, all this, that, and the third. That's all beautiful. I always tell people, when they ask me, how does it feel that you just won a double award? It feels amazing. I'm grateful, but it's not my focus. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
Like, my focus is Jesus. It's a privilege and an honor to be able to serve God's people, to travel, to be here. That the Lord would put me on somebody else's mind to come share my gift, to lead people into a place of worship. That's the important part. That's what makes me glad. And so that's why I still do this. And that's who I was before that explosion,
Hmm.
serving at church, being that nerdy kid, I'm still him. You know what I'm saying? And so that's who I pride myself on being, and I won't change, because change for what? This is who God made me. And I live to serve Him. Not perfect. And let's get that
Mhm.
clear. I'm not perfect. I have so many, like I said, I got so much to learn, so many things to work through, but God is pulling me through that. But if we keep our minds stayed on Him, He will keep us in perfect
That's a
peace.
fact.
He gives us grace, He gives us mercy to be able to still do this thing, even with all that we got going on inside.
Yes.
And so I
And
think I think that a lot of the gospel industry needs to realign their
Yes,
focus.
sir.
Because yes, making a living off of this is a thing. It's a thing for me too.
Yes.
But I think it's the love of money that's the root of all
That's
evil.
the word.
And when you begin to love that over all of what God is trying to do through you, then it becomes a problem. And that problem is like a virus. It starts spreading because you got people who are watching you. You know what I'm saying? You got young people who are looking at you, say, "Oh, I want to be like them."
Mhm.
But if
yeah,
them is that, then it's like this. It's a problem. You know
what
what I'm saying?
yeah,
That's happened a lot.
one of the things I
Yeah.
want to just encourage you to know is we appreciate you just
Thank you.
as you are.
Thank you
We
so
don't we
much. I
don't want we
appreciate
don't
that.
want to change you. We don't feel like you have to change. And if anybody tries to do that, realize that you are that unique being that God has made. You're that designer original. Can't nobody be you because God
Mm.
designs you for you. So as you go through this industry, and there's just going to be some people that might say this and might say that, realize that the God that is in you is so present in this day and is so needed for our young people
Yes.
to be
Yes.
able to really catch on fire and realize that God is real. So God is, I just want you to be encouraged as you navigate that you are what we need in this season, and that don't
Absolutely.
change nothing about what it. Just trust God. And if you continue to be that example, God is going to continue to put you in places that you could never imagine yourself to be in. And
Yes, sir.
I love Jason because what I love about Jason is simply this. He don't know me like I've followed a portion of him. But what I love about Jason is I like people in the church that look like if you get into a fight on the street that they can throw hands. You know what I'm saying? So I like Jason because
Your
not only is
your
he
your
talented, anointed,
your spirit is totally right.
yeah,
Yeah.
You know what
yeah,
I mean? I love hard. I don't play about my people. I don't play about Melvin. I
mhm,
don't play about anybody that is serious about the Lord. I don't play
Yes.
about Dr. Robert Earl Dean. I've known him a long time.
mhm.
He's watched me grow up in this industry. So, and I don't play about you. You know what I mean? I'm that guy. I'm that Peter. I'm gonna have to find the ear and put the ear back on Jesus because we not having that. You
Right.
know,
Yeah,
I'm one of those people that love hard and want to see people's.
Yes.
I get joy in people elevating.
Yes.
amen.
You know what I mean? I get joy in people elevating. I've watched people elevate past me.
Mhm.
And the Lord has always had me in that fabric, like you said. If people ask me sometimes, they'd be like, how? Like on the song with Ricky Dillard on his album, I wasn't supposed to lead that song.
But God.
It was supposed to be, I wrote it. It was supposed to be Zaccardi. But I sat in Zaccardi's um, dressing room the day of the recording, sitting there looking like, God, what in the world? And the Lord was like, I need to, this is your time.
See.
You wrote the song, but I need you to deliver the song. And I don't never look for it. The Lord always brings it.
Yes.
You know what I mean? He always brings it to me. If you're a, you know, he said, what, lift him up and he'll draw.
Draw.
So all we got to do is lift him. We be trying to do everything else. And he's like, I told y'all what to do. I gave you the instruction. You lift me and
Mhm.
I'll do the drawing because all the power, I got it.
That's good.
Yeah, you trying to act like you got the power. Your power. If I put you out there for real, you're gonna look silly by
Right.
yourself.
Right.
Yep.
And and
Yep.
and one thing I don't want to do, or nobody, I don't ever want to look silly. I mean, I want to be like, okay, God, this is what you said. This is what you
Yeah.
want me to sing. This is the direction that you want me to go. And we got to know, as we get older, we got to be the light to the younger ones to
Yes,
say,
sir.
yo, don't do this. Don't connect with this
Come
person.
on.
Stay away from this.
Mhm.
This is a good door.
Mm-hmm.
Might want to check that
Mm-hmm.
door. Chill out on that.
Mm-hmm.
Don't connect to that person. It might look good at the beginning. I got to be that person to help Melvin. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
sir.
And when Melvin
Yeah.
got an issue, he can call his big bro, and I can be like, "Hey, bro, look, don't worry about it. Gotta open up another
That's
door.
right.
We focus
Yeah.
and stay focused on the way and the plan." And we all connected.
Mhm.
Yes,
I
sir.
was saying, I know you cut us off, you know what I mean, at the beginning, but he's in South Bend. My sister leads worship at the church in South Bend.
Wow.
Not it's like you said, Robert. We all the kingdom is really connected.
For real.
We just
Yeah.
sometimes get in the way of ourselves,
Come on.
and the Lord be
Yeah.
like, "What are they doing?" That's how I feel like the Lord be talking to me. He be like, "Bro, what are you? Tell them to chill out, bro."
Right.
Mhm.
So I am that guy because I protect the people that are serious about the Lord.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And it's different from when you are my friendships and family with all of these people that the Lord is like, how did you get connected
Mm-hmm.
to Pastor Mike? When did that happen?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? People don't know. I was there when Pastor Mike did his first song in Chicago when James Fortune brought him out. Everybody, me and Pastor Mike met in passing, and everybody thought he was me in the airport.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's how we got cool.
Mm-hmm.
And I wrote on his records, and I remained a friend
Come on.
to him, not caring about his platform. I remained a friend,
Mm-hmm.
and that friendship overflowed into later on down the line, years later, us doing a song together. And that's the same with my little brother. Like when I see Melvin is good, you ain't got no issue, do you?
Mm-hmm.
Because I got a whole crew of cats back here that was ready to roll.
Mhm.
You know what I
Rock and
mean?
roll.
And when he come in, I treat him how I would want to be treated.
Mhm.
Yes.
I love, and my family, everybody around me, we love like that because that's real kingdom work.
Mhm.
The real kingdom is love, God's love. And one thing that our white brothers and sisters do better than us is community.
Mhm.
That's true.
Yeah.
If you want to learn anything from the CCM market and the white church, they do better community than we do because remember, black churches, all black people had.
Mhm.
So that's why mother was the choir president for 40 years.
Right.
She didn't have no power when she went home.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So you got to know the lineage and how to move and what to do.
Mm-hmm.
Respect where you come from, appreciate where you are now, and look forward to helping others
Right.
grow as we grow.
I see you being an executive at some point. Are you going to get your own print and with
Yeah,
distribution? Because you
yeah. I
have
have
that
my,
spirit of of
yeah, I
of a
know.
John P. Key, of a
Yeah,
Yolanda, Young Artists for Christ. Remember that back in the day?
yeah. I
You
remember
have
that.
you have that thing because you want everybody to win and you want to impart knowledge on the up and coming. I see
Yeah,
I see your whole record label, I see your management
yeah,
company. I see you as you get bigger expanding your ministry.
yeah. I'm in the process of doing that. I do have my own label now, through Ty Scott, which is really cool.
Love Sydney.
And I love them, and I was with them 20 something years ago with the Riders.
Hmm.
So, you know, they kept they promise, and y'all remember Christian hip hop wasn't big yet,
Nope.
and they didn't know where to put us. We was performing on Bobby Jones
Yep.
because there was not a space for Christian hip hop. Now look at how big Christian hip hop is, just as big as regular hip hop
Yep.
now.
Yep.
And so, you know, when you are a part of that fabric, like you said, I've been woven into what is happening in the kingdom for a minute. And so I'm grateful to be able to sow and connect and work with the young cats that's coming in that can keep me fresh. You feel me?
Mhm.
Oh
You
yeah,
know what I mean?
and they're powerful. I applaud Jacqueline with this new album where she's having the legends and pairing her with Karen and Dorinda and Yolanda and Shirley and
Yeah,
Kim. What a brilliant idea! Because we can't forget the seasoned saints like us, and we can't
no,
forget the up and coming middle age and young ones. It's all the body of Christ.
it's all of us, man. And I'm grateful, man. I hope they put that Shirley Caesar album out because she got a whole album done. And
Mhm.
I hope that somebody grabs her album because I got 2 songs on there. So
They
I
better
need them
grab
to
it then.
grab I need them to grab that record and put that record out. It's gonna be an incredible record
Come on,
once they
Ty
drop
Scott.
it.
Yeah.
Ty Scott is a good
Come
one
on,
with
somebody
vintage
grab it.
artists. Come on.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, we grateful, man, and I'm grateful for what the Lord is doing. It's amazing.
Well, I'm gonna do some quick business, and then I want to talk about end off with talking about this new cut that you guys have out. Um,
Cool.
but the business is that Robert and I have been planning for about 2 years of our conference, the IGAM conference, and that is.
Independent gospel artist music matters.
And we're going to get you all the information, to both of you all, but we'd love for y'all to come. Jason, I
Cool.
need you to be on the panel. Melvin, I need you to be on the panel. But we're going to be launching Robert Earl Dean's TV show. We're going to be taping multiple shows while we're doing the conference. And so would love to have you guys there. So I'm going to personally give you the invitation. And with that
Thank
being
you.
said, let's talk about this new project. And
Yes,
I
sir.
love the cover. I love the
Come
cover,
on.
and it wasn't like Jason presents. It was like, this is my brother. We side by
Side by
side.
side.
You're gonna get all of us, and we're gonna be
Yeah.
like, here. Let's talk about
Yeah.
that.
Powerful.
So shout out to my boy Romario in South Africa, who did the cover, all of the covers for this record. And I hit Melvin's management. I was like, I need a headshot of Melvin. I said, I'll show y'all what I'm doing. And then so I sent them pictures and things. And this dude is his mind and his creativity is incredible. And so he put this out, and everybody been like, man, who did who? I'm like, y'all just wait, I got y'all. I'm that silent storm. I like to come out of nowhere and people be like, oh shoot.
Boom.
So, boom, we hit him in the head with this one. So man, it was really fun. And the cover and the song and the video, they just match, man. It's just when y'all get ready to see the music video, y'all gonna go crazy because we just had a good time shooting it. It was fun. And the basis of this song is, whatever you're going through in life, period. And there's so much going on in our world right now. People losing their benefits, the SNAP stuff, and all of this stuff, and people, don't have food to eat.
Jesus.
It's crazy, the turmoil in our world, and there's a line in the course that says, "Sit this one out." You know what I mean? Sit. It's a line in the course that says, "Sit this one out. Put it in his hands. He'll handle whatever it is." And so, whatever you're going through in this moment, and then Melvin can expound on that.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, there's a lot going on. People are going through so much, and you never know what your neighbor's going through. And I, definitely see this song when people start singing it, they can encourage their families, their friends with this because it's a song that, to me, it fills me with hope. Even when I first heard it, before I even got on it, I was like, "Oh yeah, yeah, yeah." Like I feel that. And so even I thank you now, Jason, for trusting me with this moment. I'm super excited and honored to be a part of this. It's going to change some lives, and that I'm
Yeah,
grateful for.
Well, I just have to say this. One of the things that we're known for is we don't rush interviews because
Nah.
we want to make sure that in the platform that you guys that people really get to know you and know more about you so that they can
Yeah.
connect with you and that it's just not like a 5 minute and gone. I want people to walk away saying, wow, I didn't know Jason did all that. I didn't know Melvin was this, because then they will follow you and begin to be a supporter of what God is doing. So my last thing to ask you all is if you can tell us how we can follow you, how we can connect with you, how we can get to, I'm going to go to Robert so I don't have to go through all the management first. So that we get everything. But I was going to say, I'm going to say, how can people connect with you? How can they follow you? And then after that, which one of you will introduce the song that we're going to introduce to the people, which we've already put in rotation.
It's
It's
already
already been,
planned, bro. And we're
yeah.
a media based
thank you.
sound exchange station heard in over 71 countries. Hallelujah.
And I want you to know,
Hallelujah.
I do want you to know this, is that y'all's song did not get picked up on our station because of friendship.
Nah.
Your song, our program director is a beast.
Yes, she
And
is.
she listens to every piece of music that comes through the station.
Yep.
It's hundreds of units per week. But the minute y'all stuff came through, it went up to the top of the chart, and she put it in rotation. And so it's like,
Wow.
because of who you are in the kingdom and the quality that you produce. We didn't. By the time we was ready for this interview, it had been rocking already.
And he sent it. Thank you, brother, for trusting me to send it to us. We get first dabs on a lot of stuff, but I appreciate you
Absolutely.
sending it right away.
Yeah.
No problem.
All right. So how can they follow you and
Go
get
ahead,
connected?
Melvin. You can start.
Yeah, I was gonna say, let me start so you
Yeah.
can,
Yeah.
you can follow me on Instagram and TikTok at the third Melvin Crispell, on Facebook at Melvin Crispell the third, and at melvincrispell.com to keep up with all things Melvin.
All right.
And for me, you can follow me at Jason Clayborn 44 on all TikTok, Jason Clayborn Music on Instagram. I mean on Facebook. And if you want to get in touch with me on all things Jason Clayborn, just type in jasonclayborn.com and all of my website. You can go on there and find out everything that we got going.
Well, with that being said, who's gonna introduce the song?
And we could do it. Ladies and gentlemen, listen, I know you've been hearing it, but listen, this is an exclusive with me and my little brother, Melvin Crispell, whatever it is. Produced by Sean Keys.
Right
Let's
here
go.
on God Radio 1.
.com. The